Hello, my divinities. Welcome, welcome. So here we are. We are going to restart for this month the zodiac signs. I wanted to wait until we were officially in Taurus season and then the new moon in Taurus had passed. And here we are. So let's go ahead and start. I'm just cleansing the area real quick. All right. Okie doke. So let's get straight into it. What is the energy for Capricorn? What's the message or energy for Capricorn? Oh. That's too many. We're just gonna grab one. Tobacco off. You know what? I can't. Tobacco offering an angel's trumpet. Ooh, death. Okay. So this is for Capricorn. I guess we're going to do two for Taurus as well. What's the energy or message for Taurus? Ooh, ayahuasca. What else for Taurus, please? Calendula, purity. Okay. All right. And for Virgo, what's the energy or message for Virgo? Yeah, no. We're going to get the top one. Gotu Kola, higher consciousness. One more for Virgo. Ru, protection. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Capricorn. Let's look at these first. We got tobacco offering and angel's trumpet. Okay, so tobacco offering says upright. It represents power, ofrenda, or offering, divine gift, invocation, respect, deep alignment with will and purpose. Reversed, which it didn't come out reversed, but just in case you want to see what side you're on, illusion of power, power hungry, lack of respect, inner conflict, addiction, stuck in habits, fear of failure. Tobacco is used among indigenous groups across the Americas as an offering to the gods for smoke cleansing, as an offering to the spirits, as a sacred smoke at council meetings, and as a ceremonial juice during vision quests. Widely used by shamans in the Amazon called tabaqueros, tobacco is considered a planta maestra, or a teacher master plant. These plants are key to protective spirits and important allies and guides in the healing of humanity. In pre-Columbian North America, different tribes used tobacco ceremonially. The main difference between them and Central and South American tribes is that they smoked tobacco through a pipe. Various indigenous people from the Americas use tobacco for healing a wide range of ailments such as earaches, snake bites, cuts and burns, respiratory diseases, fever, convulsions, nervous issues, urinary complaints, skin diseases, and parasites. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit given to humanity to enable communication with the spirit world. Tobacco is one of the ultimate ofrendas, or sacred offerings to the spirit world, placed on altars and traded among different societies for hundreds of years. It has been used by many indigenous peoples as a symbolic token for sealing peace among tribes. Tobacco's most commonly used ritual since ancient times, smoke, and strong purgative and anti-inflammatory effects mirror those of Mars nature. Guidance. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct this power determines the quality of life. Offer your actions as a divine gift, selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfather Tobacco's protective and powerful energy lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who ask with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to seduce you into destructive behavior and addictive tendencies. Tobacco is here to remind you of the importance of offering as a form of opening, invocation, and respect. Okay. And then we go to Angel's Trumpet, death. Okay. So Angel's Trumpet, upright, represents breakdown, cathartic transformation, rising from the ashes, elimination, death, shedding the old. Reversed, it represents ignoring the call, mental and emotional crisis, illusion, shattered, refusing reality. Angel's trumpets have an intoxicating scent. Oh, I forgot to mention, tobacco is connected to Mars and Pluto. And interestingly enough, so is this one. It's just Pluto, Mars. It's reversed, but still, okay. Angel's trumpets have an intoxicating scent and flowers that resemble angelic horns aimed downward, symbolizing the call of the angels to humanity. Plants in the Brugmansia genus and relatives like Daturas have a rich history of use among shamans and magic practitioners, even though they are poisonous. Some South American indigenous groups, like the Kamsa, Jibaro, and Ingano, initiate their children at a young age into the path of curanderismo, becoming a healer, by ingesting Angel's trumpet during a flower ceremony. Jibaro boys who walk the shamanic path are given the medicine at the age of 6 to acquire an external vision-producing soul that lets them communicate with ancestors called Arutam Wakani. Boys and their fathers go on long pilgrimages to sacred waterfalls where they engage in sacred bathing, fasting, and drinking of tobacco water. Then the angel's trumpet juice is ingested to effect contact with the supernatural, during which the Aratum Wakani appears as jaguars and anacondas and enter the boys' bodies. Curanderos, or healers within many traditions, incorporate angel's trumpet into master plant brews like ayahuasca to enhance astral traveling and the spiritual experience. Other cultures around the world, including in Tibet, have also used these important poisonous plants within their practice. Many caution against the thoughtless use of Brugmansia and Datura, which can be severely toxic and cause the kind of strong hallucinations and delirium that only experienced shamans should use for divination and healing. So, the guidance says, Angel's trumpet signals a time of catharsis or death. A deep emotional breakdown is due or near. You may feel lost in your own emotional despair, depression, shame, or unworthiness. But know the angels of discernment and darkness are here to support you. Coming eye to eye with the darkest feelings within yourself catalyzes the great awakening. Deeply pause, let go of control, and witness the broken pieces within yourself with loving awareness. The medicine of the bat symbolizes the need for a ritualistic death of relations, situations, or aspects of life. Bat, like angel's trumpet, signals catharsis and rebirth, signaling literal or metaphysical death of old patterns and worn-out habits. Understand that you can reconstruct at any time, regardless of how shattered you might feel. Okay. And I don't know if it's because we're using a very nature-oriented theme, but I feel the need to go very methodically and slowly today. So we're going to do one card at a time. What's the first card for Capricorn's reading? First card for Capricorn's reading. 6 Vessels, which is basically like the 6 of Cups. And the Queen of Vessels, the Salmon. This is interesting. Because Capricorn, I don't know if this represents you or this represents someone around you. But the Queen of Vessels is powerful because it represents the ability to swim upstream, to go against the current. But at the same time, because salmons usually don't make it back, it can also represent sacrifice of the self. And we are talking about the 6 of Vessels. So I don't know if this is you wanting to sacrifice yourself for someone who is a soulmate, or a soulmate wanting to sacrifice themselves for you. And I do think it's interesting that we have Pluto and Mars, because remember, it's talking about power, right? Are we putting ourselves under someone else's power, or is someone else putting themselves under our power? And what are we doing with that ability when we do have that much power over someone else, or when we allow someone else to have that much power over us, what does that say about where we're at in our journey, right? Now, I do want to point out that this could be a reunion of multiple levels. Like this could be friends coming back together after a long time of not seeing each other. It could be, you could be soulmates with multiple type of people. It doesn't always have to be romantic. But in this deck, the Seven of Cups is mourning. That's what it literally, you know how they have a word here? In this deck, the Seven of Cups says mourning here, and it represents letting go of something. So because normally I would not say that that's the Seven of Cups, but because we're using this deck and that's how it's connected to the Seven of Cups, I do feel, especially because we have death here as well, there is something you're letting go of. And it could be the opposite. It could be that you have a soulmate that you need to let go of, or they are releasing you, one of the two. And let's clarify, because we'll get a little bit more detail that way. Let's clarify the Six of Vessels. Tell us about the Six of Vessels for Capricorn. Ace of Wands, the Eight of Swords, Queen of Wands, Justice, Death again. Okay, guys, come on now. Justice, Death, and the World. Oh, yeah. Oh, and this happened out of nowhere with the Tower here. Okay, so you might not have been expecting this. You might have thought that if this is someone who's leaving you behind, you expected this to just keep going, and it didn't. And if this is someone who you are leaving behind, I think you are coming to terms with it. Maybe whoever you're with is struggling, one of the two. But with the Ace of Wands, whoever is starting over, whether it's you or someone else, this is a divine opportunity. It's divine portals opening up. I'm going to say it's you, okay, for you. Are you worried how someone else is going to feel? Yeah. But at the same time, the universe is giving you reassurance. Look, you got to trust that person, especially if you're dealing with someone who has fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The universe is telling you, trust that person. They will be fine. They will be fine. They're okay. They are not a helpless little child that cannot be without you. They are a strong, capable adult. You're not going to end their world because now you're not a part of it. And if they ever make you feel that way, the universe is giving you the reassurance. No, this is a karmic contract. This was a soulmate. You and this soulmate coming together was to teach both of you lessons and get you to a certain place of growth. And it has accomplished that mission. Or if you just met somebody and you feel like, I feel like we just had this, we were only together 2 to 3 months and now they're gone. They serve their purpose. Let it go. They did what they were supposed to do. Even if it's shocking, even if it's very unsettling, it served its purpose. Okay? Let's see. I'm gonna leave this here. Next card. Next card for Capricorn. Eight of Stones, skill. So this is like the Eight of Pentacles. King of Stones, wolf. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm again that I think it's you. You may be the one that is walking away, because this is the King of Pentacles, basically, which would be earth energy. And so, or you're dealing with another earth sign, it doesn't matter. We're going to refer to this like it's you, okay? So the King of Stones would be Capricorn. Now, I think you're struggling with yourself right now because you are a very traditional person, I think, by nature. And it could be that you're trying to learn new skills, especially if you're in the middle of transformation. You may have met a soulmate that got you very much into the esoteric or the spiritual things when you're normally someone who's very practical, very pragmatic. You're learning new skills because you feel like this makes me a better person. This makes me a better businessman, or this makes me a better husband, a better father. But with the Nine of Stones here, it's also teaching you independence. It's teaching you abundance mindset. There's a lot of things you're learning about this new path that you're carving out for yourself. But it is reminding you that whatever new path you're on, it's going to require dedication, skill. To become really good at something, to acquire a skill, you need to do something consistently. And also the fact that we've got offering and death tells me that for this transformation, you may be asking for divine help. Your actions are also considered an offering. So if you're asking for divinity's help, you've got to put your part. And that's how they will see it, as you are completing a contract. You are doing your part to make sure something flows, to make sure something moves forward. And if you're walking away from a romantic relationship, or from a friendship, or from family, or, certain people that you feel like you just had to release, you see how the wolf is sitting here howling? I really think it's because you're in grief, because you might have been someone else's guardian, someone else's protector, someone else's crutch. And the universe is telling you, no more. You need to stop being the one in control. Stop being the one in power. Let them grow. Trust them to grow. And you need to grow by releasing control. You need to become a different version of yourself. Don't base your value off of what you can do for other people. Learn to value yourself as you are. Let's see. Clarify the Eight of Stones. See? Four of Swords. Oh, okay. Clarify the Eight of Stones. The Fool and the Page of Swords. Oh dear. King of Cups, the Hermit, Five of Pentacles. Oh no, Cap, what are you doing? You're showing up. You see how his feet are touching the water? It's like you're showing up, dipping your feet into spirituality. But it's because you're searching for something. Now, maybe it's because you're showing up as a King of Stones. For some of you, what you're searching for is ways to make money, because you may feel like you are struggling financially. For others of you, this is a warning. It's a warning because I believe that you are learning some sort of spiritual skill. This makes me think that you may be doing astral travel or lucid dreaming. But with this combination, not only because we have the Page of Swords, but because the sword is much, much too large for her. And also, together, this makes the Five of Swords. Well, I don't know if it's a him and a her. Sorry. But with the Fool being... whoever is learning this skill, you're not using it wisely. You may be using it to spy. You may be, like, when I say spy, I mean like you're abusing, if you're learning divination, or if you're learning astral travel, you're learning remote viewing, you're learning how to scry, whatever it is you're learning how to do, you think that this is a practical use of it to be able to peek into people's lives. And you're being told, no, that is divination abuse. Unless someone is coming to you and making you an offering of love or business, then you are allowed to tap into that because it directly connects to you. But if you're interested in someone, or you're just curious about someone, or you're thinking about how to sell to someone and you use divination, then you're abusing it, because now you're going to use it for manipulation. You're not using it for growth. So or someone is doing this to you. So with the Pluto Mars energy here, if you're the one doing this, this is a warning. This is a warning. Your actions are seen as a reflection of your guardians. And I don't know, maybe it's because he's holding the trident, but some of you are connected to Neptune. If this is you, it could be that there's a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who let you go, and you may be spying on them. It doesn't have to be. Could just be somebody who's very fiery, very confident. But the Queen of Wands could also be you. The Queen of Wands is kind of witchy, right? Out of all the queens, she is the witchiest queen. So you may be doing this to spy on a King of Cups. I'm just telling you right now, it is not going unnoticed. If you're the one doing this, you're being watched. The watcher is being watched. And if someone else is the one doing this, then just let your guides take care of it. The warning is being passed on to them. Ten of Vessels, happiness. The Hooded Man. Again, the Hooded Man is like the Hermit. So I don't know that you understand how this works. Remember when in this card for the Angel's Trumpet, it was saying, it was warning people. Hold on, let me look it up again. It said, many curanderos or healers caution against the thoughtless use of these plants, which can be severely toxic and cause the kind of strong hallucinations and delirium that only experienced shamans should use for divination and healing. And I'm going to support that. I always say that people who are my clients know that I never recommend them to do things like ayahuasca or anything like that unless they've been working on their chakras, because the chakras all flow upward, right? So if your bottom chakras are closed and you are projecting, your top chakras are most likely going to project too. Even if you have a vision or even if you see some sort of hallucination, it's going to be what you feel inside. It's not going to be reality, which means you're going to be seeing lies because you're not ready to see the truth. And this is making me think that you're searching for some sort of answer, but what you're seeing is not clear. What you're trying to see. There may be someone you're trying to reunite with. There may be somebody that you want to, I really feel like this is mostly romantic, which is worse. Because if you have to spy on somebody like this, it means that there's most likely not a connection. And I just, that's never a good idea. That's never a good idea. Now, I will say that I think that this is going to turn out okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Whoever this is, whether this is you or someone around you, they believe that, they've gone on this journey, but they're being very, whoever's doing this work, they believe that they are in control of this journey. And it's kind of funny because they're tapping into Plutonian or Plutonic forces, death forces. And they think that they can just dip their toes in it and use it to spy. And what's about to happen is they're about to get sucked in to a dark night of the soul, because you cannot touch these forces and expect to remain unscathed. So right now you feel emotional fulfillment, but this is going to be the beginning of a good journey for you, because you know what? awakening is never a bad idea. Okay? Let's clarify Ten of Vessels. And they're like, oh, you want to awaken? Let's help you. Six of Cups. Clarify Ten of Cups. Yep, I knew it. King and Queen. I knew it. I knew this was romantic. Ooh, see, that one came out reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. The Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, the Lovers. Yep. There's that Five of Swords I told you about. So I think that you weighed out the pros and cons and you were like, I need to get into divination. I need to get into astral travel. I need to get in whatever it is that you got into. Maybe you didn't get into it with the best of intentions, but you know what? The universe is like, it's okay, boo-boo. We gonna fix that. Because honestly, that's how I started. I got into astrology and tarot because I wanted to spy on the person that I was in a relationship with at the time because there was so much chaos. And you know what? Here we are now. So it's okay. Six of Cups. I do think this has a lot to do with the fact that whoever you are emotionally involved with is most likely someone you've spent multiple lifetimes with. So there's a strong compulsion to be near them. And even when they don't want you near, you're doing the most. You know, you're showing up as, I don't know which one you are, whether the Queen or the King, but whoever this person is, you see them as your match. And you're willing to do impulsive and, different things because you're literally hallucinating or doing, I don't know, you're doing something. I really feel like it's stronger. It's not just, you're not just doing tarot. You're not just doing scrying. I feel like this is you literally going astral traveling or going to the dream realms, one of the two. You're doing something like that. Like you're wanting to insert yourself into this person's life, or you're wanting to spy, but in a very, like, you want to be able to see what they're doing. You don't just want feedback. Interesting. But you know what? It's okay because this is about to take you on an inner journey that is going to be amazing, really. Let's see. What else? I feel like love is one of the best ways that we end up waking up because that's what got me going. Yep, look. Eight of Vessels. Rebirth. With the Nine of Vessels. You see all this water? Six of Cups. Eight of Cups. 10 of Cups. 9 of Cups. This is very emotional. Whatever this is someone who gets you deep into your emotions. And it's okay because, like I said, they're going to help you awaken. Even if that's not what you were going for, that's what's going to happen. And ultimately, you'll never regret going down this path. Because I feel like whether you realize it or not, this is truly the path of emotional fulfillment. Right now, you're doing, you're using it in a superficial way. Like you feel emotional fulfillment off of spying off of this person, on this person. But eventually the true emotional fulfillment is going to come from the rebirth you're about to go through. Clarify the Eight of Vessels. Five of Cups. Judgment. Three of Cups and the Knight of Wands. With the Two of Pentacles. Again, this combination. I knew it. See, I hadn't seen it before, but here it is. This is you want this person to consider you again romantically. For some of you, even as a friend, like for now, they may not even want to be friends with you, and you feel a lot of sorrow. You feel a lot of loss that they're not even a friend. And so you're willing to insert yourself. I'm going to say this person is most likely someone who is spiritual, because I feel like you are inserting yourself into their world so that you can be near them again. Even if you are doing this impulsively, this may be shamanic in the sense that, because I did get a lot of shamanic energy. If you're not astral projecting, if you're not in the dream realm, the fact that he's riding this hawk it made me realize you may be able to, I don't know what the word is. I'm sure there's a term for this, but you may be able to like switch souls with animals and see through the eyes of birds, the eyes of maybe specific birds like hawks, eagles, falcons. And you're doing this because you're trying to figure out how to bring this person back into your life, even as a friend, even if that's all you can get. You just don't want this to end. I really feel like the 5 and the 3 of Cups making the 8 of Cups, and the 8 had already come out, but remember, this one is different than the Tarot 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups in Tarot is someone who needs a break. You might have thought that this was a temporary thing, and now you're realizing, oh, this is an actual death, like they're done. And so you're putting yourself in their world so that you can show them how valuable you still are to them, or so that you can figure out a way to reconnect with them. Let's see. King of Wands. The Adder. I don't know if this is you or the person you're dealing with, because King of Wands had already come out again. Queen of Vessels. Okay, because of the way the reading is set up, one of you is the self-sacrificial, I don't care if I die in the attempt. And the other one of you is someone who's very strong-willed and not easily conquered, not easily won over. Now, another interpretation of this could be the fact that if you are the king, because remember, the King of Cups showed them dipping their feet into the water, right? And then the King of Wands, whoever this is, you feel like you are the perfect partner to this person. But because King of Wands is here, the way that the energy is showing up, it doesn't matter which way you're trying to come at it. It's not great. Because Queen of Vessels is showing up as self-sacrificial, and King of Bows is showing up as aggressive and trying to dominate. So it doesn't matter which one of these you are. It's not great. You're not coming up in a great energy. Even if you think that these are beautiful energies, the way that they're showing up here, this is why you're being told, before you're allowed to use these gifts, let us take you on a little journey, boo-boo, so that you learn how to use these gifts ethically, so that you know how to set boundaries, how to embrace your own power, and so that you know how to not use that power on other people without their permission. Clarify, King of Bows. Look at this. The Devil. And this is Capricorn energy, by the way. 6 of Pentacles. Clarify, King of Bows. And what did I do? And the High Priestess. With the, I cannot. I told you, the Magician, 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. Yeah, because this is like you having the ability, everybody has spiritual abilities, right? And whatever abilities you have spiritually, you're misusing them. That's why the Devil is here, because you're trying to, look, I don't know if you're trying to bind someone to you. That is a bad idea. Or you may be paying for someone else to do it. I don't know that I never ever suggest that. That is always a, oh, I just saw 34:56 on the clock. That is a bad idea. That is not going to end well. You're creating contracts with things that you do not understand. Remember what I said, the watcher is being watched. And the thing about this is that whoever you're connecting to, if they are strong-willed, you will not be able to dominate them. They will dominate you. So I don't know. Look, I feel like whatever it is that you are offering, whatever you're trying to say, like, how do I put this? There's no such thing as something for nothing. You want a specific person, and if this person is a high priestess, what they're warning you is that you're about to get dragged, because if this person is high vibrational and you're trying to match them, you're okay. Let me put it to you like this. When I say dragged, it's not like they're going to hurt you, but it's more like, think of it like a high priestess is someone who's going 100 miles an hour. Okay. And if you're in another country, I don't know, let's just put 100 kilometers an hour. And you are going 5 miles an hour or 5 kilometers an hour, because only somebody who is in a low vibration would do something like that, would try to bind someone to them against their will. And you're trying to match with the 100 miles an hour. And they're like, oh, okay. Okay, you want to do that? Guess what? You're about to feel like life is dragging you through the mud. But that's because you bound yourself to someone who is going really fast. Their frequency is much higher. So you're about to feel like you're getting dragged because you are trying to tie yourself to someone that is not your match. Even though you think they're your match, they are not your match. And this is about to hurt. That's what they're telling you. But that's how you can make it happen. You have to go through your own personal spiritual death, and your offering is your actions. So when they start dragging you, you're going to have to be able to take it, because, that's you fulfilling your contract. If you don't follow through with the actions, then you're not fulfilling the contract, and you will not get what you want. So, okay. Wow. All right, then. Let's see. Last card for a Capricorn. I did not plan to see this in the Capricorn reading, this intense. Okay, there's that I'm going to put it in the center just to keep it in perspective. 4 of Vessels, boredom. So you're bored. You're doing this because you're bored. Whoever you're connected to, there's 2 things here. 4 of Cups is also rejection. So you're doing this because, number 1, you know that the person that you want would reject you, or they already did. Or 2, you're doing this because you're bored and you find fulfillment in this person while they find fulfillment in their spiritual path. So you're trying to match them, and this is going to hurt. You're going to get some owies. Let's see. Tell me about the 9 of Cups. Oof. What did I just say? What did I just say, Capricorn? This is going to hurt. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but oh my God. This reminds me of me. Yes, it did hurt. But I'm stubborn. I held on. I did not let go. 8 of Wands. Clarify 9 of Cups. Now, I didn't do any binding work, mind you. I was spying, but I didn't do any binding work. 4 of Pentacles. I knew it. I knew it. Queen of Cups again. Wheel of Fortune. 9 of... Ooh, child. Yeah. This is gonna hurt, Capricorn, but I do think ultimately you're still going to get a lot of emotional fulfillment out of this. You have, I feel like a lot of things in your life are going to end really quickly, like a lot, back to back. But that's because you're trying to go 100 miles an hour. From 5 miles an hour, you're trying to go 100. And with the Four of Pentacles, your motives are not the most noble, right? Because one thing is spying, another thing is trying to bind someone to you. And so, yeah, this is going to be a little bit more intense for you, because if you had just spied on someone going 100 miles an hour, it might not be as severe, the effect. But because you basically created a lasso and tied yourself to someone going to 100 miles an hour because you didn't want to let go, you're going to feel like your whole world is going to shift quick. So this is just an acknowledgement, right? That even if your motives are not the most noble to begin with, this will end up okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be brought into your own power. You're going to transform. Only you know if you still hold on to that rope while you're getting dragged, or if eventually you let go. But this is going to be you do believe that you're doing this in the name of love. I know you believe that. So only time will tell how this turns out for you. Okay. And for those of you who say, I'm not doing this, I'm not lighting any candles, I want to remind you that praying for a specific person, masturbating while thinking of a specific person, there's some multiple ways that you can try and bind someone to you energetically. It does not have to be with witchcraft. This is shamanic, which means that you're doing it in a way that you think is healing, and it's like, same effect, boo-boo, same thing. This is not healing, but you'll find out. This is the official FAFO. You are fucking around, and you are going to find out, Capricorn. So I will tell you this, because I started similar to this. I mean, I didn't bind anybody to me, but I started off spying. I don't regret it. So I hope that you enjoy this journey, honestly. I think that it is going to be very transformative, and I think your life will definitely change from here on out. So good luck. Peace out, Capricorn. Bye-bye.